Hello there, have you ever wondered if the X Uzi ship is canon or not? Many fans debate whether or not their relationship is a real thing, or is Liam being Liam and teasing us? Well, let's look into all the signs for and against their relationship. Shipping wars is a thing in almost every fandom out there, but it's really prevalent in this one. Particularly who N should actually be with, that being V, J, and Uzi primarily. I mean, some people ship N with Thal sometimes, heck, even J does it to some degree, but let's stick to the main ones for this video. We would be here all day otherwise. NXJ is one, and this one is not really working for me, at least, since J is nothing but rude to N throughout the entire show, even stepping on him in the pilot episode and calling him worthless and terrible, so she's definitely not his friend at all, nor being very interested in him romantically. NXV is my personal go-to, but people ship them because N did have a crush on her at the least. NX Uzi is my personal go-to, but people ship them because N did have a crush on her, at least in the pilot episode. As well, we see one hint during episode 2, when N has a flashback to when he was a worker drone, and knocks into V, knocking the drinks out of her hand. Jeez guys, the intrusive thoughts are winning. Where was I? Oh right, causing the two to gaze into each other's eyes for a brief moment, and V even blushes, but in this very moment, J punts N in the back of the head, causing him to fall over on his face, instantly eliminating any further romantic tension between the two. Also, we see V briefly blush in episode 5 Home when the two wake up, after the memories were saved. So there are some moments, but the problem with this one is that V is still a bit rude to N, but her rudeness is to everyone, so that doesn't really seem to bother N that much, since we do see Bro shoot a heart cannon at her during their fight, so who knows. I just like this one better because I can always get my N and V plushes to do whatever I want. No, just kidding, you guys know I just like to drown them. Anyways, and then there's NX Uzi, the fan favorite. Well, why do people ship them in the first place? Well, for starters, N and Uzi are the two main characters of the show, who are opposite genders, and most fandoms like to ship the two main leads because girl and boy. The show never deconfirms it. I mean, who does not want N to lick them? Sorry guys, the intrusive thoughts are really kicking in this time around. Episode 2, there isn't much in the way of romantic tension, but the two get along really well, and their friendship begins to grow. In episode 3, the two start hitting it off, going into the prom together. Though it was disrupted by Russian mommy doll, they still danced and enjoyed their time together. In episode 4, Cabin Fever, after Solver Uzi's mommy level slaughtering of worker drones, wow, that's really written in there. She should slaughter me. Why am I reading this still? Uzi, do it. What the hell did I write? And I don't mean slaughter. Anyways, after this, N stops her rampage and gives her a heart-to-heart therapy session, making Uzi feel a lot better, and the two actually hug it out in a pretty sweet scene. In episode 5, we get a flashback to the good old days of Earth in the drone's time at Elliott Manor, and Uzi is currently trying to save N and V's memories in her room and to get inside their minds and to save them from within. She uses her character, the Crow username thingamajig gamertag, keep it as Dark Axel 17, which she made when she was 8 years old. I mean, when I was 10, I made a username called MattTheBeast04, which I still think is good to this day, so shut up about it. Also, her dad thinks that she's really having a sleepover, but she says that she's not really having one, and there's doing no sleeping, if you catch my drift. Sorry guys, I'm really trying to stop. And during this time, Uzi and N start to bond even further beyond when Butler N asks Uzi why she's even helping, saying that they hang out and to just shut up, which is showing that she's got some kind of crush on him because she quickly defends and shuts down any further possibility of this, and throughout the show the two continue to bond and grow even more closer. Episode 6 is where it all comes together. This episode sees the main characters heading down underground to get to the Cabin Fever labs to see the list of who is infected with the Solver program, and during this episode Tessa, or what we now know as Sinessa, who is a baddie by the way, tries to convince N throughout to do the job of taking care of Uzi and tries to convince N to do his job of taking out Uzi before her Solver has a chance to mutate and cause her to lose absolute all control and cause a disaster to the planet, just like how Sin did when she was infected. But N refuses because he wants to find a way to cure Uzi of the Solver rather than kill her. To find a way to cure Uzi of the Solver rather than kill her, because he may actually be in love with her a bit more than just friends. Later, when Uzi is saved by V, who is also my fiance by the way, when Uzi wakes up, she is happy to see N hugging him yet again, in a pretty disgusting scene because I kind of hate the ship, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm just doing this video, so let me get my real thoughts out there for a minute there. And finally, during the end half of the episode, the two bond by holding hands and begin to blush and sweat despite being robots. Yeah, because that makes sense. To which Tessa responds with "Don't date my robot, please," and V simply says "Ew," which I don't entirely disagree on because I do not like the ship whatsoever. I mean, N does love doing anything. Jeez. Okay, you got a drone throne. What the hell are you talking about? You read Uzi Boozy, now you're messing the theory up. And the final example of the two having romantic tension is, well, Uzi Boozy. Uzi Boozy takes place. Wait a minute, that's the wrong script. That's my Uzi Boozy review, which is, spoiler alert, I rate 10 out of 10 because it's a masterpiece, all things considered. Definitely would recommend. I say all things considered quite a bit. But I digress. During episode 7, Mass Destruction, the two's friendship is really challenged as the two get separated early on and must go their separate routes. And goes out with meets Nori and hangs out. What the hell? And Uzi goes deeper into the cabin fever labs only to discover footage of Nori and Khan making her. And after this, what the heck? And after this, the two meet up again in the cathedral and N kills Tessa. And right as the two were about to have their bow chicka wow wow moment, turns out the Solver has full control of Uzi now. And finally results in an epic battle between Sin, Uzi, V, and Nori as they fight. And results in an epic battle between Sin, Uzi, V, and Nori, and as they fight it out, right when all hope seemed lost, N wrote in this oil declaring that they are officially just, quote, hanging out. But this still upsets Nori, causing her to smack Uzi, bringing her out of this daze to where Uzi punts her like a kickball down to the Solver's whole balls. And the two hug it out yet again. Sure is a lot of hugging for friends. I guess they have the benefits subscription or something. They have it half off this month. And after this, the Solver takes over and results in Uzi ultimately having to sacrifice herself to save N's life. But it turns out that Uzi's perfectly fine and the episode ends. I gotta swallow a bit. Throughout the whole show, the idea of an X Uzi relationship is, for now it seems that the ship is non-canon. I don't think that they will end up together, and I personally don't believe that they should, since this is probably just Liam being Liam, messing with our emotions. And as to why N stopped liking me, it's probably because Liam changed his mind or something, or he just wanted N's interest to go elsewhere. But I think N might die in episode 8, so even if they do gain feelings for each other, it's not like it'll last very long in the first place. But I think N might die in episode 8, so even if they did get true feelings for each other, it won't really last too long because, he's dead. But let me know down in the comments whether or not you think NX Uzi is canon. Should I review Boozy Uzi? Thanks for watching, subscribe, and take care, you lovely